Hi there everyone, happy Valentine's Day. GuardianE here with another news update and event wrap-up video for Azur Lane as we close in on the final days of the Northern Overture Rerun. So the Japanese Valentines livestream featuring Pamiat Mercuria went live earlier today, featuring a brand new model for our short stack VTuber. They upgraded her finally to reflect her retrofit. Much to our visual delight, she looks superb, and it was filled with the usual Mercuria antics. As well as this live Twister segment, which seemed pretty fun, so check out the archive if you missed out and are interested in seeing that. Now, Mercuria also revealed the plans for an upcoming live stream this Friday on the 18th. Aurora is on the splash reveal, so I'm fully expecting this to be a new Russian event. That'll make a lot of sense on the tail end of the Northern Overture Rerun. Hopefully, we see the reveal of Sovietsky Soyuz as an obtainable ship, since everyone has been waiting for her release for a while now. As an aside, I wouldn't get too hung up or surprised if they ended up making some adjustments to her art on the official release. They've already done it once, and they've done that for other ships as well. Not really from a censoring perspective or anything, just more to either clean up or enhance the existing art, or, make it in line with their vision, whatever that might be. But yeah, livestream on the 18th, mark your calendars. We will, of course, be doing a recap and reaction to the livestream and be putting that out on the 18th as well. So if you are interested in seeing that, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notified when that goes live. And we have some fun new Azur Lane merch to look forward to. They are updating the Yostar store in celebration of Valentine's Day, so there are some, pseudo-Valentine's themed merch here, although a lot of it is just kind of general merch as well, so that's pretty exciting. I don't know how limited this stuff is actually going to be, but this does include merch that I would consider picking up. There is a set of faction pins for representation of some of the smaller factions in the game. You've got the Sardinia Empire, Iris Libre, Vicha Dominion, and Northern Parliament. Seems like each pin will be $10. Now, I wish they offered the pins as a whole set for a lower price, but unfortunately they don't this time. There's a playmat featuring some beautiful art of New Jersey. I believe this art was voted the top celebration artwork of 2021, so this is sort of in celebration of that. $25 US there. There's both a heat-sensitive mug and a double-layered wall scroll featuring Pamiat Mercuria, and both of these products offer Mercuria at various degrees of undress. The heat from the liquid inside the mug will transform the art into a more provocative piece, and the wall scroll will have a top layer that can be removed to essentially remove Mercuria's uniform in the process. The mug is going to be $35 and the wall scroll is going to be $25. And then there are these keycaps, which I think are really fun. I think it's a fun idea. There are two different versions, one for Laffy and one for Prince Eugen, and there are also 3 different sets for each version. So set A is going to be the entire set of 10 different keys with a limited pin of the respective Focus Girl for $50. There's a set B with just the arrow keys and a backspace, and set C will have the A key, the L key, escape, enter, and space. Each of the smaller sets will be $20. Like I said, the full set will be $50. It's a little weird to me that they would even break the set up, honestly. I don't really know why people would only buy half of the keys available. I guess more options the better, right? No harm in having some flexibility there. It is a little pricey at the $50 for mechanical keyboard keys, but they are a limited premium item, so from the official store, so it's kind of to be expected. But again, a little bit on the pricey side. The pins also a little bit on the pricey side for each individual pin, but they are available right now in the Yostar online store, and I will probably end up picking them all up. Yostar is also going to be running an augmented reality event for Valentine's Day. You just have to use the AR feature within the game to take a snapshot here and then submit it via the Discord, and you will actually get a participation reward of some food for the dormitory. And there are milestone rewards for the number of participants, all the way up to 10 cubes for everybody, as long as 6,000 commanders participate in the event itself. Not too much in figure-related news from the last week. Has been a lot of time to pass, so again, with this only week structure for the reruns themselves, not too much time to reveal stuff, but there was a brief teaser of Mimeyoi's upcoming Bremerton 1/4 scale in her scorching hot training tennis outfit, so something to look forward to there. So I think that's about it for the news revealed in the last week or so. Like I said, we're probably going to be getting a lot more news in the upcoming Friday live stream, so be excited for that, but it's been pretty low-key. So we're just going to wrap things up. I'll give my final thoughts as to the current new rerun structure, as well as do our daily polls to see if we can't snag some more dupes of some of these Northern Parliament ladies. I did find the grind to be relatively reasonable. I did basically manage to acquire everything that I wanted to acquire out of this. Actually, let's go ahead and collect some additional gongoots. May as well as the blueprints and some cognitive chips, another gongoot. We take those, more blueprints, and we're probably going to get enough for this last gongoot in the final days, but I don't really need her, like I said, and I don't really care about getting these, the tech packs. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I got everything that I wanted from that. The call to arms, obviously, I cleared it the first time around, so clearing it this time around was a lot, was instantaneous, actually. Just got some coins out of that, nothing too crazy, but I also think it was generally easier for newer players to clear this too, because those missions, you just had to acquire the ship rather than max limit breaking them. Got the Manjuu manufactory as well. And let's go ahead and sweep the important stuff from the event shop. Definitely grabbing these design plans. Perfect. We'll grab this one here. Why not? We are going to grab a copy of Chapaya because I don't have a dupe of her. I guess I could wait until we do our dailies, but, well, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to get all of these Series 2 blueprints too. May as well. And then the Chapayev. So it doesn't really matter. I have more than enough currency and a couple of days left anyway. So guaranteeing ourselves a dupe of Chapayev so I can put both of those skins on her. So that's great. I don't really need anything else. We almost have enough for Minsk at this point. If I did need if I needed a copy of her, like a first copy of her, and we have a couple of days left for the grind, so that would be easy. So a new player should be able to relatively easily get all of those items, which are the most important items, along with the intel report by the end of the event. And it's worth noting that the special exercise skins that came alongside or returned with the Northern Overture Rerun, essentially the Gulag-themed skins, will be leaving with the event when the rerun leaves. So if you are interested in picking up any of these, you're going to want to grab them now before they disappear. I review and showcase these skins in a lot more detail in the original run of the Northern Overture, and I'll link that video up in the corner if you are interested in seeing that. But you can see right here which ones I personally purchased, and therefore the ones that I most recommend from the batch would of course be Sovetskaya Rossiya's, Chapayev's, as well as Gongoots. Now, alongside the Valentine update, there are two new Valentine-themed skins that also dropped into the shop. One is for the newly retrofitted Anshan, called Setting Sun Hearts as One, where you're riding, I think, some sort of Ferris wheel over the cityscape. It's a really beautiful view. Anshan is enjoying a dessert drink while you're both just drinking in the gorgeous view in front of you. Dramatic light sort of pouring in through the windows from the setting sun. Anshan herself is outfitted with some casual gear with a cute cap and bright beaming eyes. I like how her little horns just stick out from the top. It's very, very cute. Shigure's Lucky Chocolate skin is decidedly more traditionally Valentine themed. Rich, vibrant reds with a giant halo of heart-shaped balloons behind her. You have flowers and presents laid about before her. She's sort of propped up on this stool in an apron, legs crossed. The stockings and garters give her a decidedly more mature look, but she still has her fluffy ears. And I adore the giant paw oven mitts that she's wearing. Very, very cute. She's also got a knife in one hand, along with a bowl of melted chocolate as well, so it seems like she's, preparing some Valentine's chocolate to give to her special someone on this day. It's a little unclear as to whether the balloons and all of the presents around her are from suitors, or whether she's prepared them for her target, but it does make for an interesting backdrop. And of course, don't forget to pick up the Polar Penitentiary furniture theme for the dorm if you are interested in doing that. We do just have a couple of days left to pick this one up. So let's go ahead and reveal what we got from our Lite dailies over the course of the event. As I also just kind of briefly talk about the rerun structure as a whole, and I guess if my thoughts have changed on that since going through the event, now that we have kind of gone through it. And I've heard, there's been some mixed reception, I think. Generally, it's been positive. A couple of... I do understand some of the drawbacks and concerns that people have about the new structure as well. And I totally get it, and I kind of want to address a couple of those things as we're going through the polls now. Wow, this is not great. This is not a great multi. Yikes. What was that? We just got one elite, and that was just a non-event York. Okay. So I think one of the big concerns, the legitimate concerns, I would say, is the issue with the drop rate. So if people are going to be grinding the event for the Chapayev gun, for example, it's a little rough. You only have a week's time. They did implement that oil cap, which is actually a huge boon. That oil cap is ridiculous because you can run that map for really, really cheap. It's just a timing component. Wow, we're getting another Tashkent. So we got, if you didn't see the first day one pulls on this event, we got a Tashkent for the rerun, and we're getting another Tashkent today. Hopefully all of you out there that are targeting Tashkent will be getting yours pretty easily. It's pretty funny. Actually, we'll do the last 3 tickets. We may as well here. Let's go ahead. But yeah, I totally get that. I mean, the grind is a little bit rough if you want to get those, those gun design drops, and I do think that's something that they really should look into. I think, hey, we're getting an Aurora too. Not technically one of the new event ships or rerun event ships, but still on theme, right? She's Northern Parliament. She's the classic. She's the OG Northern Parliament in the game. So in addition to the oil cap on D3, which is awesome, there's also the clearing mode, right? Which you can have fully automated, and you can also have the 2x efficiency. So there's a lot of ways to kind of facilitate your ability to grind this. That notwithstanding, I do understand that the week's time is a little bit rough, and I think in order to remedy that, what they could do is just double the bonus, or double the drop rate of everything on those maps. I think that's fair. I think that makes a lot of sense, and that would alleviate, I think, the issues that people have with the overall grind and the truncating of the event. And the other sort of legitimate issue was with the event shop, because even though they did make adjustments to the event shop, they didn't actually update it entirely to encompass cognitive arrays, for example, are not available. It doesn't go up to PR4 as far as the blueprints that are available. And so it's still the old version. So they didn't update it like they traditionally do with reruns. And whether that was an oversight or whether or not they're deliberately gating that because they're coming out with more events, and those events are all going to have opportunities to get those items, and they don't want to put too many into the economy, I'm not entirely sure. I will have to see. I'm kind of lukewarm on this. Again, I think if they're going to be pumping out enough events where they're compensating for it, I don't think it really makes a big difference if they don't, update the event shop for reruns, because it's basically a new design philosophy for reruns as a whole, in that if you really don't need anything from the event, then you really just don't have to grind it, like the event shop notwithstanding. So I think that's where they're coming from on that front. Again, I'm lukewarm. I don't feel like this necessarily necessitates a change, but I do understand why some people are upset about it. And lastly, with more events, I know some people, especially newer players, are panicking and saying this is really bad for newer players, it's great for vets, but what about the newer players? They have to pull on every single event, there's no downtime at all, they're screwed, they're not going to have enough cubes. So those are sort of the rumblings that I've heard, that trepidation about the release schedule. For one thing, I think it would be great if Yostar and Manjuu did release a schedule or calendar, because that would let people prepare a little bit more. A lot of different gachas do that, and Azur Lane, for some reason, actually Azur Lane has never employed that. It's always a little bit spur of the moment. So if they did do a release calendar, or at least a loose one, rather than just kind of like hint that, hey, this is coming up in the next couple of months, you might want to save. They've done that in the past, but like something more structured, I think that would help. But in terms of like having enough cubes, this game gives you a ton of cubes. If you haven't looked at my free-to-play cube saving guide already, then I'm going to link that. Go take a look at that. It's in the description below, because that video I recorded a couple of years ago, and it's just an example of how many cubes you can get per month. That, spoiler alert, that video has 250 cubes in 1 month that you can get just by doing regular things, dailies, grinding, commissions, and everything else. And it's actually gotten better since then, because they actually redid the daily structure and the weekly mission structure, and they implemented cruise missions. Cruise missions give you 20 cubes in there, amongst like all kinds of other free goodies. And then in addition to that, the actual daily, weekly restructuring of missions actually nets you more, because you don't have to do 10 pulls per week. You actually only have to do 7 pulls per week, 1 each day, and you still maximize your rewards. So they've made those adjustments, which means you save even more. So it's probably closer to like 300 cubes that you get for free each month on average. The average cost to sweep an event banner, not a UR banner, but a regular event banner, is around a little over 100 cubes. So like 110, 120, something like that. So just on that base level, you are acquiring a little over 100 cubes in excess over the average of being able to sweep 2 events per month. And yeah, you can get Strings of Bad Luck. I am very, very intimately familiar with Strings of Bad Luck. If you watch pull videos on my channel, you know this. I am well aware of how bad things can get on a pull front. But things tend to balance out. So you get good luck and you get bad luck. You gotta take the good with the bad. So you're going to get strings of really good luck and strings of really bad luck. So I guess my point is that Azur Lane has been extremely generous with the pull currency, the cubes. Coins used to be a gate as well. Well, they remedied the coin issue too, because now you get tons of coins by doing the story grinding. So really that's not an issue or a bottleneck either at this point. So there's really no... I have 1,600 cubes here, over 1,600 cubes. Those are free cubes. I got some of them from cruise passes and things like that, so if you want to, like, remove 200 or 300 cubes from that, fine, you can do that. Even having over 1,000 cubes while still acquiring every ship in the game from every event that comes up, that means that there's an imbalance, I think, in the spend structure and the number of events that come out to spend on. And that's also, when you get good luck, you save for the times when you're going to get bad luck. That's Gacha 101. I mean, that's a base level, that's fundamental saving, but they're still earning more cubes on average than they would be spending in a given month. Probably. We kind of have to see how the actual structure rolls out, really how often we're going to get events. And people were saying, oh, there's not going to be any downtime between events at all. There are. I mean, there is. Already we're getting some downtime between this rerun and the next event. And there's also going to be a phase 1 for the new event that has the traditional, like, EXP boost, and you grind some ships to max limit break, like that kind of stuff. That's still going to happen. So you're still going to have downtime to save up. It's just not going to be as dramatic and that much dead time as there was before. So those are my current thoughts on the Lite rerun structure, I think, in a nutshell. I just want to address a couple of the things that I think, and legitimate concerns that I think a lot of the player base had about the rerun structure, in addition to the good. And I think that, aside from those caveats, those specific things that I think they could make changes to that are very fair for both sides, for all parties, and make the events more productive in general, like the rerun events. Overall, I think it's a huge improvement. And frankly, I think it was necessary. Because I think what a lot of people are overlooking is the fact that the rerun structure as it was had a lot of heat on it. A lot of people were complaining about that rerun structure because people were having to wait up to 2 years for a rerun. Royal Navy fans have been waiting forever for a new event, and while you can't just attribute all of that to the rerun structure, it plays a part, because the fewer new events that you have available, the fewer new events you can allocate to different factions. And that's just the reality. The fewer new events you have, the more likely a faction is going to get shortchanged. And there's other planning issues involved in that, but I really do think that was at least a contributing factor in that as well. And I know people don't like to hear this, but if you do miss a ship, and it happens even with the structure before, if you do happen to miss a ship on the event, one of your targets, the quicker rerun and event structure means that you're going to have to wait less time for that ship to come back. And so you're going to be able to actually have another opportunity to get that ship sooner. You're not going to have to wait a year and a half for that rerun to happen, or for that event to get dropped into the war archives or anything like that. So yeah, for me personally, I would double the drop rates for maps during a Lite rerun, maybe take another look at the restructuring of the event shop and make it a little bit more palatable. But beyond that, I think the rerun structure is still a huge improvement. I maintain that position, and I think the potential negative impact that it makes on newer players is both premature and overblown at this point. But we'll see. You never know. All this depends on how things are going to be structured going forward, and we just have a very loose understanding of how that's going to happen. So continue to leave your thoughts down below, and continue to let Yostar and Manjuu know what your concerns are. Think through the arguments, of course, take into consideration what I've said here, what other people have said as far as their issues with the rerun structure. But yeah, let Manjuu and Yostar know what your concerns are, because they've always been receptive to feedback. They've always tried to lend an open ear to the community, and I think they would do that in this instance as well. Alright, well, I think I've said my spiel. I'm going to close things out here. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Valentine's chocolates, and I figured I would just close things out here by showing who I picked for 2022, and that is going to be Zara here. There were a lot of, obviously, very, very strong candidates, but I haven't gotten a chocolate from Zara yet, so I thought she would be a very good pick. Here, this Valentine's chocolate is for you, Commander. Oh, dare I say you look jealous because I gave Pola chocolate too? Then how about this? Pola, would you come over here and share that chocolate with the commander? Oh, so I think the implication is that Pola already ate her chocolate, and Zara is encouraging her to share a taste with a little kiss. I wouldn't be the first time that Valentine's chocolates had weird or unclear translations. That sounds more like what Zara's implying here. Yep, seems that way, looking at the DeepL translation at least. Damn, Zara. They are a package deal, that Pola and that Zara. And what a package. So let me know in the comments below who you ultimately landed on for your Valentine's 2022 in Azur Lane, and let me know how the grind and ultimately the shortened, truncated, light version of the rerun has been going for you for Northern Overture. Hopefully you got all of the ships that you needed, got all the copies you needed, got the grinding in that you needed to get done as we move forward, and let me know what you're expecting for the upcoming live stream. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Azur Lane content. We thank you all so much for watching and for taking time out of your day to spend with us. We really do appreciate it. Certainly hoping you're all staying safe, healthy, secure, and united out there, and wishing the very, very best for you, your family, and your friends. And until next time, let's protect those waters.